Hello, good evening, and welcome to Thingamajig's Racing Channel. We are here with the World Racing Community for their championship, the Sports Car Cup. And it's round 2 at Road Atlanta. And it's an exciting, here we are, an hour and a half race, smashing around the American track in the Group 4 car. And I don't know. I haven't kept up with many car changes. I do believe there has been 1 or 2, but we'll have to wait and see until they get to qualifying. I can get you the regulations. That's usually what I do. So there's been some amendments, though. I don't know if they've updated the regulations. We'll see. So here we go, World Racing Community, Season 6, WRC Sports Car Cup, race regulations. Balanced performance will be on, tyres are at ×3. Soft and medium tyres, both sets must be used throughout the race. The fuel is at ×3, and the car class is Group 4. And that's an unrestricted pick up to the second round, where then I think they're locked in, but they'll lose the points for the first round if they do change cars. It's a 90-minute race, and it's in 2 categories as well. We have GT1 drivers and GT2 drivers, and the green banner you see above Autosport signifies that he is one in the GT2 championship, where Chunky has a pink banner that it signifies that he is GT1. In the chat, MJ, I dislike Wi-Fi outages. Yes, I wasn't sure if MJ was sticking to the HMS Bugatti. It's got a bigger turning circle than the Titanic, but he's got internet issues this evening, so MJ will not be joining us on track. And it seems like there's a couple not joining. It's I think Boosted had a tooth taken out, but that's just helped, surely, with the weight.
Don't talk badly about my Volkswagen.
MJ saying don't talk badly about my Volkswagen. So Oliver's there in his Porsche. We saw him have an absolutely banging race, that Porsche. Very good on fuel consumption. And I don't know how that'll help at Road Atlanta, though. Let's see. It's got like one hefty straight, hasn't it? But it's there's a lot of lift and coast through this track, so I don't know if fuel is going to be an issue. I think tyres may wear, especially now with the implementation of soft tyre and the need to use it. The tyre wear might be more now a significant thing than the fuel that we found last week playing a big part. So Autosport on a tear. It looks like they're all coming into the pits now. This must be their debrief. They're going to go and debrief for a second or two. And yeah, I'll have a look for standings, but the last time their standings, it didn't really kick in until round 2 because of drop scores. But I am going to go into the unknown and have a good look. It's gone quiet. Oh, that's all right. We've hit qualifying already. Yeah. Hey, yeah, it's on it. So Incognito is leading the GT1.
We've taken on feedback and made some format changes.
The good thing is, MJ says, is, as just mentioned, we've taken feedback and made some format changes. Yeah, no, it's nice. It's nice. It's not like some people would stick their heels in and say, no, this is the way it is. But it's nice that a league's happy to alter things and make things for the betterment of the racing. I like it. I'm on board. So Incognito is leading the GT1 class on 21 points, with Boosted in second in the Ferrari on 18 points. Chunky is third in the Genesis on 15 points. Then we have Garuda in fourth on 41 points. No, sorry. I'm reading their race number. Sorry, let me get it again. Incognito is leading on 21 points. Boosted is on 18 points. Then we have Chunky on 15 points. Garuda on 13 points. Bob is on 12 points. And Adnap is on 10 points. And Sinister yet to score, but I'm not sure if he's withdrawn, has he? I don't know. There was some mention of something in the Discord. Then in the GT2 rank, there is Thunder on 22 points. Fusion, which I think is Oliver, on 17 points. Autosport is on 15 points. Von Blue is on 13 points. MJ is on 12 points. And Huds is on 10 points. And I believe Huds, I saw in the Discord, could not make it. Phaser with a wave. There we go. So let's have a look through the field then. We've got Incognito still in the McLaren from last week, leading the championship. And Phaser saying hello. Why hello, sir? And Bob, I don't think he was in the Lambo last week, so I think Bob's changed to the Lamborghini. I can't remember what he was in though. Garuda is still in his Honda. Duffman has joined us. So Duffman out there. He's in a Nissan, it looks like. Very nice as well. Bright. I like it.
This week is the last week drivers can change without sacrificing their entire points haul.
Oh, I see. He was in the Shag, that was it. That Jag didn't seem too bad, but they've turned their nose up at it. So they're doing the qualifyings now. They've done some laps, so we've got some idea now. We've got Incognito on pole at the moment. Boosted goes second fastest. And Boosted was in a Ferrari. He still is in a Ferrari, but for some reason I wanted to call it a GT40. But it's a very nice, it's still a Ferrari in a Gulf livery. It's very sweet, very nice. So Incognito, 10th faster than Boosted at the moment around here. Bob, 3rd fastest in the Lamborghini. Garuda is 4th fastest in the Honda. Then Chunky, who's stuck with the Genesis X, is 5th fastest at the moment. And MJ is says this week is the last week drivers can change without sacrificing their entire points haul. Bob was in the Jag. I believe he wanted a more well-rounded car, and he's stolen my Ford GT livery from season 1 of GTC. Is that Boosted? Oh, and Adam's in the chat saying good evening, thingy, and all in chat. There we go. So Chunky then had an absolute solid race last round. He'll be wanting to add to that, but he's 5th fastest at the moment in his Genesis. Thunder, he's got to be the top runner for the GT1 class. GT2 class, sorry. He's a naughty boy, though. He hasn't got the banner. He's not helping me any, Thunder. I need that banner. And Christopher in the chat saying, what's up, thingy? Oh, yeah, everything's up, man. He hasn't got his banner. He hasn't got his banner in his car. He's GT2. But, yeah. And Autosport is in a Lexus. He's got a banner. Shay is saying Bob is bad. Ah, bad to the bone, baby. Oliver is in the Porsche. He's 9th at the moment with Duffman still getting accustomed to the road and the car. He missed round 1. So at the moment, Booster's taken pole. I apologise. I'm not following it very well, am I? I'm just too busy looking at people's cars. But Boosted then, I should have come into the room earlier, is on pole at the moment. Incognito and Boosted. We were wobbed last round of an absolute battle between Incognito and Boosted. after the Ferrari did their usual pit stop shenanigans
Why do we say that?
and put him on the wrong tyres. And this for asking, why do you say that? Oh, Booster's pushed the Ferrari more than it wants to do. And he's off of the road. Incognito starting again with Bob then in third spot. 2/10 off of Incognito, half a second ahead of Garuda. Duffman has set a faster time. Good for ninth at the moment. Only 2/10 off of Autosport though. And that Nissan has got grunt, ladies and gentlemen. It shouldn't take too long for him to get into the fray. Boosted at the moment, still on pole, but Incognito's on an outlap. Maybe we can get on board as he crosses the line. Then we concentrate on Incognito, a 10th shy of Boosted as he goes into that first corner, fully committed up the hill, and it starts getting a bit shady around here, braking for a blind apex. Dropping down, gravity is against you. Playing with the accelerator, feathering, no feathering. Flat to the floor all the way. He's done a marvellous job so far handling this, but he's a 10th down on his own time. He's got to find a little bit from elsewhere. Time is running out for him as he tries to find that 1.16 of a second on Boosted. Chunky Ribena goes faster, stays in 5th though. Bob sitting in 3rd, Garuda 4th, Thunder in 6th with Adnap in 7th. Adnap, we haven't seen him yet. We'll go and have a look. He's champion from last season, but in the Nissan Silvia, he's struggling to get race pace. And there we go then, Incognito crossing the line. That's a lap, but half a second down. And at the moment, Boosted owning all. So Adnap up into 6th in the Jägermeister Nissan this week. And I'm not They're having a chat about Bob in the chat. I don't know him well enough to add to the chat, so we'll leave those guys to it. As we watch Adnap then going around 6th fastest. He's 1.3 seconds off of Boosted's time. He's only 0.16 of a second behind Chunky Ribena. Chunky Ribena though going faster again, and now he's nearly at 4/10. Oh no, Chunky Ribena's moved up ahead of Garuda, so Chunky Ribena absolutely planting a lap in the last throws of qualifying, and Chunky moving on up the grid, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on up the grid. Incognito, this could be his last try. I think it's 10 minutes, is it? It's 10 or 15, so it might not be over just yet. It is, and this is Incognito's last try, and he does not go faster. Booster's not going to go faster. He's got a penalty. So what about Bob? Who's watching Bob? And Adnap's just ahead of him to cross the line, but I'm not sure. Adnap coming down to cross the line. Does he go any faster? He does not. Bob, can he go any faster? He cannot. So Chunky Ribena, it is all there. It is there to grasp. He's up on his own time, but he needs half a second virtually to get ahead of the Bob. And he's making his way around rather swiftly. Can't see him gaining 4/10 in these last couple of corners, but you never know. Duffman goes faster also at the end, and Chunky just halves it, unfortunately, but great lap from Chunky. Garuda in 5th place. He is done. Adnap in 6th. That is where he stays. Thunder in 7th. Fantastic work from Thunder. Duffman at the end there, coming up and into 8th place ahead of Autosport in 9th. And Oliver, who's just going over the line off-road. Fantastic stuff in 10th spot. So boosted again in a strong position going into this race. And Christopher saying, by the way, Thingy, this is Sinister. Hi, Sinister. Oh, man.
I'd obviously be pulled. Universe decided I couldn't extend my talent to the lobby.
And MJ saying he could have taken pole in that one, but Universe said no. Can you get in now? Can you hear me now? Ooh, I'm going to have a sip of my brew while we sit back and chill in the driver's lounge. JTR has joined us as well. Oh, yes. Champion. We can look at that before they close the whole thing down. Oh, Shay, what is going on, man? You just throwing shade everywhere. And Shay, I get the name now. Shade.
Good driver. I could do better.
Oh, my word. There's a lot of hate in the chat. Come on, guys. It's just a game. Boosted is on pole with Incognito in 2nd. Bob is 3rd. He's got his fans out there as Bob. And Chunky Ribena 4th. Garuda is in 5th. Adnap is 6th. Thunder is in 7th. Duffman is 8th. With Autosport 9th and Oliver in 10th. And I imagine JTC will be joining them at the back in 11th. Reckless in the chat saying, MJ, still believe you should have gone down the 5G hotspot route. Yeah, but he's capped, man. He's capped. He's capped, and he'll use all his data up. Have no more data for TikTok.
I don't have the data cap for that.
Oh.
Used to shop at Aldi.
So
Prime at 14 Racing would solo this grid.
there's loads of stuff happening in chat. So Shay's, I don't know, said he used to shop at Aldi. Forge Flame said Prime at 14 Racing would solo this grid. And AHM Gaming says these fellas talking out of their necks. So, well, I mean, if someone thinks they can come and absolutely dominate, then they are more than welcome. It is an open group, is the World Racing Community, found on Facebook, found on Discord. And, yeah, if you guys fancy it, get yourself signed up. Put your money where your mouth is. That's what I say. Talk is cheap. And
I am not a ban list, wink wink.
Oh, unless they're not naughty, on the naughty list, MJ's naughty list. Then it's the dailies for you, I'm afraid, son.
For her unlucky Forge.
I'm enjoying my brew and just, I've got some popcorn. I'm just watching the fight in the chat.
Is they give you the property. They banned me because I'm too good.
Oh, bless. So, yeah, I think we've got Forge. It must have been asked to leave the WRC in the chat. Hey, man, all is welcome. And they always say there's 3 sides to a story. There's your side, their side, and the truth. So, you know. Everyone believes they're right in a situation, so it's I say call bygones be bygones, and let's all just get along. Let's all just get along and be friendly. So Thunder in the Lambo. And JTR has joined. Lexus there. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Splendid. Splendid stuff from JTR.
Tire compounds in the race.
So, yeah, but the hards are horrible. Reckless is saying it would help if you used more than 2 tire compounds in the race, but the hard compound really is... It's not good for anything, is it? Yeah, I don't understand, because it's just slow and it stays slow and it wears out. I think there was a race once, it wore out the same length of time as the mediums. It was like, well, what is the point of it? It's slower and it lasts as long as the mediums. So I understand. I understand, guys, that they don't use the hard so much. So here we go then, ready to race, ladies and gentlemen. Boosted versus Incognito, Bob versus Chunky, Garuda and Adnap wanting to get in there to spice things up. We have got a race building for you here at Road Atlanta. 90 minutes of pure racing. Here we go then, a great start by the front of the grid, but Chunky looks like he's on an absolute tear, ladies and gentlemen. Chunky already up to 3rd, ahead of 4th place there, and Boosted losing a place. No, he's gained ground on Incognito, but Incognito is on his 6th, as now Bob ramps it up, and he's back ahead of Chunky. He's sliding up the inside of Incognito. Incognito's off the road, but he's holding on, and now Bob is up and into 2nd spot. Audacious move, and Incognito then has to start worrying about the pack behind him. Chunky and Garuda, Adnap side by side going up the hill, cracking stuff, while Thunder wants to pick something up out of this battle. And Garuda in the end on the Honda just about gets ahead of Adnap, as Adnap gets a wiggle coming out of the corner, and he's having another look up the inside, and it's Bob in 2nd, and it's cleared up there, but Incognito in trouble from the genesis of Chunky Ribena. And you can catch Chunky Ribena streaming on YouTube from his point of view as he makes a move on the McLaren. Oh, it's gonna stick. It's gonna stick. No. Incognito has the inside line. So Chunky has to do something miraculous to get around him, and that is the laws of physics. But no, oh my word, Incognito's off the road. He's sliding around all over the place, and Chunky Ribena just has to decide when to make the move on the McLaren. Unbelievable start we are witnessing here, ladies and gentlemen, as he tries to outbrake Incognito, and Incognito now picking up a penalty. It goes from worse to worse for Incognito, and now off the road and seeing half the pack gone by. But look, ladies and gentlemen, last year's champion up to 4th place. He is cooking. We shall let him cook for a while. Oh, Boosted is absolutely on the raggedy edge, and Bob pushing on in the Lambo. He wants to fight the Ferrari. It's cracking scenes here at Road Atlanta for the world racing community. Chunky Ribena, meanwhile, as we get in a little drift from Adnap, and Incognito still to pay the penalty there, and Garuda in 6th spot looking at the back of the McLaren. Oh, is that a bump draft I see there from Garuda? They're trying to build a buffer up from the Lambo, because the Lambo is looking rather dangerous. And Garuda, he's made the move. Oh, because of the penalty, of course, yes, sorry. And Thunder also getting past Incognito as he has to pay the penalty on his barn-find McLaren. Duffman at the moment in 8th place, solid manoeuvres with Oliver in 9th, JTR joining, and poor old TDR down fighting the Lexus. I haven't even looked at the tyres. It's crazy, I know. So softs for Bob and boosted on mediums. That explains things. That explains the advantage that the Lambo has at the moment. But how long can those tyres last against boosted? And now he's giving boosted a nice little toe. Mediums for Adnap, and he's made the move on Chunky, and we missed it. I apologise. But Adnap now up and into third ahead of the Chunky. Both on medium tyres. Garuda on medium tyres. Incognito is on medium tyres. Thunder also on those medium tyres, and he has picked up a penalty. And I did read in Discord that Road Atlanta can be a little bit of a pain for the penalties. So they have to be extra careful in at least 3 of the corners. Oliver as well on the medium tyres. JTR's on the medium tyres. Then we have Autosport on the medium tyres. And Duffman, ladies and gentlemen, oh, and he's got damage, and damage stays. The damage is permanent in this. They have to go in the pits to fix it. So Duffman has picked himself up. An absolute nightmare. Bobo is the only one on those soft tyres then, and he's making great use of them. He's getting on with getting on, and he's pulled out half a second on boosted at the moment. I know I've been a bit slack with the chat this evening, but I have to put my glasses on to read it, and they were just having a little argument, and I couldn't be bothered. So, Forge Flame saying very wise words, Thingy. Reckless saying would help. Yeah, I read that one. Hey, Thingy, can you please say happy birthday to my friend Dave Blunts? Dave Blunts, you legend! Happy birthday! Forge Flame saying, actually, I used 1 compound. AH Gaming, I can put down the cup. Christopher Dare Brown said, hard tyres are total crap. Reckless saying, I actually quite like them. Shay saying, Bob is so bad, give him a 1,000,000-second penalty. Ah, bless. Reckless saying, 1 lap in and we already have a trip to the stewards. MJ saying, this is going to be interesting. Can Bob pull enough of a gap? Shay saying Bob is using grip hacks. Well, he's on soft tyres. And Reckless is on now, probably waiting on Booster to stick the full wets on. Well, he did put inters on last week. So it could possibly happen. There we go. So Bob... grip hacks. He is on soft tyres. He's using a grip hack. And Ferrari will be Ferrari, says MJ. It is inevitable. But at the moment, sticking with Bob on a soft set of tyres and building up a lovely gap. Chunky's got past Adnap again. I should watch these guys, shouldn't I? And Incognito has got himself past Garuda, I believe. And Thunder. So, yeah. Incognito making moves. I've been watching the wrong group. Sorry, gang. We're back down here with the action. I was reading the chat, that's why. Chunky Ribena then is ahead of Adnap with Incognito mixing things up. He did a 26.8 last time around. Adnap doing a 25.8. So Adnap absolutely bursting with pace at the moment. And Chunky Ribena is just holding on. Jesus, Shay's using me as an announcement centre service. So Shay saying, can you congratulate Bob? Yesterday was his anniversary with his girlfriend Rachel. I don't know him, but I hope that's true, and that's not nothing mean. Rachel's probably his mum or something. So Bob then, oh, he's getting boosted. Because Get Boosted is on the scene, making a move up the inside, and Get Boosted fighting for the lead, and he is through. Bob, oh, the tyres are letting you down. 6 laps in, and those soft tyres are absolutely, virtually, well, next to the boosted speed, no goods. He's the only one on the softs, so we can't really gauge it. He's 125.7 last time around, but he was easily doing 24s. I think he might have made a mistake. I don't believe that is the tyres. But Chunky if those tyres are degrading, these guys will slowly creep up behind him, and Incognito absolutely on fire, ladies and gentlemen, sitting in 5th. Oh, the back end of the McLaren not knowing where it wants to sit as Incognito goes into negotiations with the rear derriere of his car, and now he's on the back of Adnap's Jägermeister Nissan, having a look this way, having a look that way, doing the shimmy shake as Adnap squirrels out of the corner, and Incognito overtakes him like he just isn't there. But that was a bit of a squirrel for Adnap as he tried to exit the corner, giving Incognito an easy run against him. And it's Chunky's turn next, it seems, as Incognito rips through the crowd. Further down, Adnap we saw just slipping down into 5th. Garuda tracking them in 6th. It's a long race and Garuda knows it. He's not messing about. He knows the game. We'll see him factor later in the race, I tell thee. Thunder sits. Bob's left. Bob has left. Those tyres upset him. My good golly gosh, so boosted now. Easy run with 9-second lead on Chunky Ribena. Incognito in 3rd. I mean, in all fairness, I say Bob left because of his tyre. He didn't. He was looking a little bouncy. It was probably a disconnect, let's face it. He was skippity-dippity-skippity-doo a lot. And now Chunky is feeling the wrath of Incognito as Incognito tries to put one around the outside in the McLaren. The Genesis is not having it, and he still claims the apex ahead. But this is where Incognito has been having the benefits, just slipping out of the stream, coming up alongside them like they just don't matter on the straights. And Incognito side by side along the straight. There's nothing in it when they get to the braking zone, and Incognito does complete the overtake. And I think Chunky give him a little nibble there. Not expecting him to brake so much. Adnap back on the scene for some absolute juking. And so is Garuda. This is great. Garuda's not really having to race and ruin his tyres like these guys. Chunky, Adnap and such what, and Incognito, all in Ticers and battles, and that is causing tyre wear more than they would normally, as Garuda, you can see, just cruising around. And now he's come up to the back of these guys. Oh my god, and I think Adnap had to avoid, and Garuda had a little knock. It's all right, no damage, no foul, no harm. Right, Thunder then in 6th, and Oliver's had a cracker. Whoa. What have I come across here? Autosport making a move on Oliver, and Oliver's absolutely ripping. The Cayman is not enjoying its tyres, ladies and gentlemen. And Autosport then claiming a spot to move 2nd in class of the GT2 Cup. And Oliver chasing him down in the Cayman. Then Duffman. Oh, he's carried on with that damage. We saw him pick that damage up early on in the race. And JTR, a very early pit stop, so all we can gather... Oh, and he's cut. He's cut the line there, 3 seconds. He's cut one of the pit lane, either entry or exit. And he's picked himself up 3 seconds there, has JTR boosted. Meanwhile, slamming it down for us all to see. His dominance. But Incognito now made himself up into 2nd. Oh, did I miss his move on Chunky? So Incognito now, but with a gappage like we haven't seen before. It's going to be a tough cookie to break for Incognito to try and get himself up closer to get boosted. This fight today is with Chunky, Garuda, Adnap, and Thunder back in the show. I'm telling you, I'll tell you why Thunder hasn't got a banner in his window, because they don't know. It should be pink, it seems. I'm putting my glasses on to read this chat, but if it's toxic, please. Hey, MJ says my Wi-Fi is back. No. Yeah, it's about 30 minutes too late, bruv. Shay says get in. Sinister saying bye, Bob. Have a nice day. And Forge Flame saying the Chris Brown fella needs to get... Hey. is Sinister. Sinister's all right. He's a lovely fella. So, Boosted leads with Incognito. Chunky is all up and in Incognito's business, I tell thee. I tell thee. And Incognito absolutely planting it at the moment, because the Chunks has brought his A game. You can catch it from Chunky Ribina's point of view on YouTube, and you can hear his thoughts on things as well. And he is absolutely driving that Genesis out of its skin, sliding here and sliding there. I love it, absolutely love it. But Incognito is pulling away somewhat. Garuda still on the scene, but Thunder now is closing in on Adnap, and it is a concern for Adnap. We're about halfway through the fuel on some of these guys. Autosport, we saw making a beautiful move on Oliver, but he hasn't pulled away from Oliver. 27-1 from the Lexus driver. Last time around, Oliver, 27-2, so on pace. On pace and ready. Then we have Duffman. He's been carrying damage. Yeah, well, he's trying to find himself a pit window, I imagine, to get that damage fixed and get himself back on the road. But 11 seconds down to the next driver. He may have probably been better off just pitting and altering his strategy somewhat, maybe. And JTR, we believe, made a pit stop. It couldn't have been for fuel or tyres, so we think possibly he was damaged as well. And he's some 31 seconds behind Duffman. He's the reason Duffman did not pit, because he didn't want to be 31 seconds behind. He's 11 seconds, still in the race, some would say. So Boosted, 12.8 seconds ahead. He was the fastest man with a 24.6, and Incognito 24.9 that last time around, is slowly eking his way away from Chunky Ribina. Fuel is pretty similar for all of these guys, as is the tyres. Garuda, also similar fuel, but his tyres are in a lot better position than the three ahead of him. 25.9 from him last time around. Thunder's got past Adnap. I apologise. Oh my God. Missing them all, aren't I? But Thunder now up into 5th place. Oh, Adnap's dropped another place. What's gone on with Adnap? We saw this in the last round, didn't he? Just dropped off the pace. He must be having hardware problems. Either a wheel, or he's using VR. Maybe he's lost tracking of himself. But some reason, Adnap's dropping way off the pace. And that's helped Autosport up and into 6th, and Oliver in 7th. They're 2nd and 3rd in class at the moment, and Oliver really has wowzers. 11 laps into a 90-minute race, and yeah, his front medium tyre is absolutely shot to pieces, and I think he crossed the pit lane. But it might have been when it was dashed. I think you can cross it there. So yeah, Oliver, I don't know how he's going to get on with that soft tyre. Out for 2 laps and in.
Looks like he caught a pen.
Yeah, I wondered if he crossed the line as well. MJ saying it looks like he caught a pen. So Boosted at the moment, just getting on with it, as Incognito pushes on. Chunky. So Sinister in the chat, he is saying, hang on, I've got to get my glasses. Someone tell Adnap to twist the hell out of that Sylvia engine. At the moment, well, I'm hoping he's back up to pace. It does look, yeah, he looks like he's closing back in on Autosport. Oliver made his pit stop, so he's ahead of him there. So yeah, he's back on pace again. I don't know, whatever it was. That lost him 2 positions. He's got some fantastic wheels on that bad boy, hasn't he? The rims just pop to me. I'm enjoying those rims. I'm enjoying Adnap's rim, okay? I'm admiring Adnap's rim. They're great. Shiny. Boosted leads. Incognito is in second, but Chunky Ribena is keeping an eye on him, and Chunky Ribena pulling out his fastest lap of the race so far with a 25.3. The fastest lap on the board is Bob, but he has left, and he was on the soft tyre, but he'd done a 24.5. Garuda up and into fourth place. A Thunder, picking up a half a second penalty there. And he's got a good 14 seconds on Autosport, so he should be safe. But again, Autosport struggling like Oliver was on the tyres, and Adnap closing in like a menace. On board, I say, with Adnap as he closes in. And MJ saying dial it up to 11. Ollie did not get a pen. Oh, he didn't. Good on you. I wasn't sure if it was where the checkered line is, that top part. I think you're allowed to cross the check. I really don't know about pit entry rules. I should learn. I know there's one track I slowed down way too much because I was right at the top of the hill, and then I noticed in the replay people weren't doing that. It was like further down you could join in the pit lane. So at the moment though, on board with the Nissan Silvia, Adnap, champion of last season, sitting in 7th, but he'd got himself as high as 4th, wasn't it? 5th, and then he's had some sort of issue out there and dropped a few places, but he's back in his bad baby, on board, trying to hunt himself down a Autosport in the Lexus. Oh, the Lexus has got a wiggle on, and that just makes it rather easy for Adnap then, and Autosport just braking a little late there, I think, and losing the car a little bit. But he's popped himself back in for the tow. I suppose the grip doesn't help on that Lexus as well. It looks like it's chewed through that front left tyre. Adnap's are still relatively fresh. Oliver then been in for the pits. He's put the soft tyre on, and as MJ said, he did not pick up a penalty. So his race is with Autosport here on the soft tyre, and we're seeing Autosport struggling a little bit with those medium tyres. So Oliver will be wanting to get the move, and Autosport, really the wise thing would it be to pit? He probably should have, just to cover it off. Garuda's pitted from a high position. That is surprising. No fuel though, just a tyre change. So yeah, the tyres are now have become more of the object of the strategy than the fuel. Booster, meanwhile, he's about halfway through his tyres. Incognito, something similar, and it's a similar fuel load for the pair of them, but they are 13.5 seconds apart. Chunky still 2 seconds off away from Incognito. He is matching Incognito's pace absolutely deliciously and staying in there for the long haul. His tyres are a little bit more worn, but the fuel, I believe, he has just a slight little bit more. Thunder, Thunder. Highest Group 2 racer, GT2, sorry, racer, and he is in 4th place at the moment. Adnap in 5th, even though his woes, he caught out, oh yeah, we saw that, thank God. Autosport at the moment, his concerns are Oliver. Duffman, he's actually pitted and got rid of that penalty, damage, but he has got JTR breathing heavily, who we saw pit very much early on in this race, and he is about halfway through his tyres at the moment, and we'll jump on board with Boosted as he circumnavigates these lapped cars. They've pitted, don't forget, so yeah, he's come across them, but they've made their stops. It's an extra 30 seconds on their race time. Boosted yet to pit, 13.5 seconds ahead of Incognito. And at the moment, the race is going to plan for Boosted. No issues. We'll save that for the pit stops. I think he put it down to something like a sticky D-pad last time. One wonders how his D-pad got sticky, but don't like to question these things. A button was sticking down, and you wonder, what sort of games does Boosted play? Or does he just, is he that good that he drives with it? And there you go, Boosted putting a lap on JTR as he gets to work on the I don't know who's in a green car. It's not a Lambo, is it? Stuffman, surely. Yes. It is very green, in all fairness. I thought it was kind of even green and black, and then from Boosted's car, it just looked all green. But yeah, it's an even green and black, that one. As yes, Boosted comes up to put a lap on the Duffman, who's doing extremely good laps on these soft tyres. He's closed in on Oliver somewhat, you know. Oliver, oh, he's waiting. I told you. When did he put them on? I said 3 laps. The last one there, 1, 2, 3. This is his 4th. He's just starting his 4th lap, so I went far off. My good golly gosh. My dearie me. So a 27-1 there from the Porsche as it screams out someone's name in mercy because those tyres are being murdered. We're seeing a murder. And JTR into the pits. Oh yes, that front medium, absolute. Some of them are not happy. Oh dear, Duffman just picking up a penalty. Is that because he's had blue flags for too long? Boosted. Oh no, what's happened here? Boosted's got damaged. Did he hurt himself getting past? No, he just went a little wide there, but even before he got past. Oh, hey, did you see his car hovering like magic? Ooh. So, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's just like Leclerc. I am stupid. I am stupid. I am stupid. Sorry, Boosted. It's what Leclerc did when he drove into a barrier. I am so stupid. You chose a Ferrari. You're getting the Ferrari references all season long. And Sinister saying, ouch. Like Hamilton. You're like Hamilton. Hamilton gets what he deserves next season. And if it's wins and podiums, then fair play. But if it's ridiculous strategies and being told to move over for Leclerc, then fair play also. Incognito hunting himself a Boosted. It's 2 seconds now. This just made it exciting, ladies and gentlemen. Boosted's carried on with the race, and Incognito is bringing the race to us. And Chunky still in the scenery, but Chunky's tyres are starting to look quite pained. Thunder in 4th as he comes across the lap to JTR as he tries to get a move up the inside. Oh, they're racing. This is no lapped rules here, but I suppose JTR has just pitted, put fresh tyres on, feels he has the grip, and why would he want to slow himself down behind the Lambo that's pretty much on the end of its tyre run? So, and JTR is managing to pull away a little bit there. So I see it from JTR's point of view because he's faster, so he wants to stay ahead, but Thunder just wants to get on with business because he's at the sharp end. He's at the pointy end of the pack today, and Adnap as well. Adnap getting the tyres are perfect for him, but the fuel is a issue. And Garuda, he made that earlier pit stop, and he is cracking on in 6th place. He's going to come good, you know. He's going to end up ahead of a couple of these, and then eventually it looks like, I think JTR had to pay a penalty there. It looked like he slowed down on the penalty line, and it gives Thunder the position. Thunder up to 4th. When will the pit stops happen? When will those pit stops happen, ladies and gents? Boosted, carrying damage, old tyres. Things are not going well for the Ferrari driver at the moment, and he is being caught by the McLaren. but the McLaren's fuel is flashing also. They both need to make a pit stop. Booster's pit stop, granted, will be longer because he has to have that damage repaired, but Incognito absolutely closing in like a whirlwind, and he is not. Oh, he's picked up a penalty as well. Oh my word. Adnap's into the pits. We saw his fuel was pretty dire, and then Garuda will be hoping to pick up that position. He does. And Christopher in the chat saying, does the Ferrari strat include bouncing off the walls? Sometimes I think they account for it. That's plan F. They go through plan A, plan B, plan C, and they finally get to plan F. Fling it at a wall. So Incognito then 6/10 behind Boosted. Boosted's taking the opportunity to come into the pits, it seems, and Incognito carries on his happily merrily way with a car that's totally working in first place. Chunky Ribena also opts to go round another lap. So they've got the perfect blend here of tyre wear and fuel, some of these guys. Some of the other guys are struggling with the tyre wear. The Lambo continues on strength to strength and up and into third place. And Garuda, I don't think he's already made his pit stop, so he's not really in the fight with Boosted, and Boosted already on his way. Another set of medium tyres for the Ferrari driver as he heads out to the track. And he's safe in fourth, I believe. Big gap around him. Lots of empty space. Lando teammate would be happy with that, you know. Open air, free air, clean air. Clean air is king. What's his name? Piastri. That's it. I nearly forgot him. Maybe he better drive better next season. Make himself more memorable. So Incognito absolutely fumes in that McLaren. He's taking it as far as he can take it, as is Chunky Ribena. And Thunder, he's got wiggle room. He's got wiggle room in that fuel tank. The Lambo not doing bad at all, it has to be said. Boosted has pitted now. Incognito's in. This is the fight. This is the fight. There was tenths between them when Boosted pitted. Boosted's pit stop should have been a little slower than Incognito's because of the damage that he had to repair. Chunky Ribena also in, and so is Thunder. Garuda only 11 seconds behind Boosted, which I think he was ahead of Chunky and Thunder. So Garuda could absolutely cause a stir here in the pot. As Boosted then goes through, is Incognito out? He's fueled up, he's moving. They're along the pit lane, but Boosted around the outside of the pit lane, and Incognito's out ahead of Boosted. Unbelievable, barely anything in it. Now Garuda ahead of Thunder, but Chunky gets out easily ahead of Garuda. And I thought it was going to be a little closer than that, but Chunky out on the medium tyres. Incognito's put the soft tyres on, Booster's put the medium tyres on. So Incognito, he needs to get on with getting on and build himself up a buffer. But at the moment, Boosted hasn't got the memo that he's on the slower tyres, and he is closing in on the McLaren. He is looking for vengeance for race one. Wasn't Incognito's fault that his pit stop went awry, but still, doesn't like not winning. So Boosted will be out for a win. But Incognito, look at a comeback. The comeback kid. It has to be said. Looked like he was 12 seconds down and out. And with Boosted slinging it up the wall, and Boosted absolutely committed then. And but luckily Incognito on those soft tyres, getting that extra grip, got through absolutely fine, and he's getting on with the business of building a buffer now. Chunky Ribena on those medium tyres, and it's only 3.5. It was 5 seconds when they come out of the pits, but Chunky had to do a lap on cold tyres, getting them up to a scratch, and he's on a heavier fuel load. Garuda might be able to do something about this. Thunder. Where did Adnap drop out to? So Adnap down in 6th place, 15 seconds behind Thunder. And yeah,
What did I miss?
MJ say that's disappear what I missed. Pit stops. Incognito's leading. He's got the soft tyres on. He's trying to pull away from Boosted. Chunky Ribena is ahead of Garuda, but Garuda is absolutely chewing in from a 5 seconds down to 3 seconds. Now it's nearly 2.5 seconds. Garuda is lit. He's slapping. And Chunky is going to be under immense pressure soon enough from the Welsh Warrior, who's only on a quarter of a tank of fuel, though, on a totally different schedule to Chunky. OSX Thunder absolutely slapping out there in 5th place, leader of the GT1 class. He's so far ahead of the GT1 class, he's not even bothered with the green banner. He's in a class of his own. Adnap is in 6th place, 15 seconds, but we saw Adnap had some sort of issue on one of those laps and dropped 20 seconds. And Autosport, 2nd in class at the moment. Just loves those podiums nowadays. Oliver struggling with the Porsche and the penalty, but struggling with the tyre wear on the Porsche. It's not going well for him. JTR is 4th in class at the moment. He's nearly 9 seconds off of Oliver, and he's 9.5 seconds ahead of Duffman, who's picked himself up a penalty. And it's still looking like Incognito isn't pulling away from Boosted like he would like to. Incognito 24.5 last time around, and Boosted at 24.5 also. Duffman just gets way out of the way. Says, I don't want to play. That's a little too hot for me, thanks. A little too hot to handle. So he steps out of the way to leave Incognito and Boosted. Boosted getting the fastest lap on a set of medium tyres. Incognito, this is psychological warfare, ladies and gentlemen. And Incognito, if he knows that Boosted's on medium tyres, then that is soul-crushing. Chunky Ribena, 10 seconds adrift of this battle, but his hands are full with another Welsh Warrior. That would be Garuda, who is closing in fast. Hot, but he's going to have to make a pit stop. Unfortunately, he will have to make a pit in the next few laps or so. What are we, 35 minutes? So 1/3 of the race done. And it's been an absolute humdinger. It's been fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. Thunder, impressive as always, ahead of the champion of last season. Adnap carrying the number 1 sticker, but that Nissan Silvia is not paying dividends for him so far. Autosport in the Lexus doing a fine job for 2nd place in class, 7th overall. He's got to be happy with that. And let's see Oliver's tyre woes.
What Autosport store says if you was to open it.
Oh, has he done one of them Top Gear things like penis or something? Well, when I get a good side view, I'll investigate. And MJ saying, just realised what Autosport's door says if you was to open it. God, slow down, Autosport. I can't read your car.
Dixie light rolling on the floor, laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing.
He's too fast for me to read it. He's absolutely flying, isn't he? What a guy. So, Incognito is in the lead. I'm still trying to see it. I can't. How can you read that? You must be watching it on a bigger telly than me. I know there's a way you can get on the back of them and then bloody move your
Second of boosted.
joystick.
Boosted
Oh,
reward has to go to TDR surely.
oh my word, Incognito and Boosted are going for it now.
Try L on the keyboard.
Try L. Oh yeah, but then you have to... My little joystick things don't work. I don't know how people do that going around the car. This is tight, ladies and gentlemen, and Incognito on those soft tyres. He's the fastest man with the 24.3, but Get Boosted has got the bit between his teeth, and this is the showdown we were waiting for last week, and it's coming to us now, and Boosted absolutely breaking the laws of the tyre physics out there, out driving Incognito on a set of medium tyres. And Incognito, we were saying, was going to try, but maybe Incognito being a little clever here and trying not to use all of the soft tyre. And Boosted gets the move done, and I'm not sure, you know, Incognito isn't actually trying to save tyres. I think he's early shifting. I think he's early shifting, and he's not driving the car as hard as he possibly could on them soft tyres. We saw how quickly they went off for Bob, how quickly they've gone off for Oliver, and yeah, maybe Incognito is trying to get strengthen the life out of him so he can extend his stint, as it were. And Boosted, he's able to drive as hard as he wants on those medium tyres. They last for days. But Incognito, I think, maybe choosing to be, because we see he had the pace on the medium tyres. Why would he be not as fast on a set of softs unless he's trying to look after the soft tyres? I think, yeah, I think he's being tactical here, ladies and gentlemen. I think he's driving smart. And sinister saying the Group 4 650 is short-shifted normally. Oh, he's not short-shifting then. I thought he might have been trying to take care of his tyres, because we've seen the soft tyres go off so rapidly. But he might just want to sit in the tow for a bit. But Incognito then, no, it probably is. He's going hard at it. He lost nearly a second to his fastest that last lap around. So maybe a small mistake, and now he's in the tow again to Boosted. Will he think about making a move? Not yet, it seems. This is pressure that Boosted is not familiar with, I'd say. Chunky Ribena in third, 14 seconds adrift of that battle, getting on with his race, but Garuda's made his stop. I apologise, Garuda, who was closing in on Chunky Ribena, has made his second stop of the evening, and he is just ahead of Autosport that MJ said in the chat earlier is one of the most improved drivers we've seen, definitely since I've been streaming. Faux show. He's raised his game up and above from when he first started. And he's some 30 seconds ahead of JTR. And where's... Oh, there's Thunder, sorry. Thunder's leading, so he's second in class is Autosport. Oliver making another pit stop. That's been the story of his Road Atlanta. Unfortunately, the Porsche looking absolutely handy last race out has seemed to be a little bit of a tyre monster this second round. Get Boosted then, meanwhile, still ahead and pushing like an absolute maniac as Incognito tucks himself up behind the Ferrari, but those tyres are slowly dropping away from him. So Incognito will be feeling a lack of grip out there right now as he tries to stay at the back of Boosted. Chunky Ribena, meanwhile, has got a gap to Thunder, Adnap and Garuda. So Chunky Ribena feeling very confident in his podium position. Who is going to go up against him? He's come across the lap car of JTR, but he will be by in no time, I am sure. No, Incognito's apologised to JTR. What did he do? Give him a bump on the way by. He's nowhere near JTR. Would have been a while ago if he'd done that. Boosted then, still feeling the pressure from Incognito, who is virtually paid up with his tyres now. And he's driving on a wing and a prayer. Oh, whoa, we're halfway there. So Chunky Ribena, 16 seconds behind those guys now, but still keeping a healthy gap from him, and 4th place, the Thunder. I need a soundboard, so when I say his name, it's like you hear like a crackle. And then Adnap, 5th at the moment. Everything is going swell. He's fighting the likes of Thunder and Garuda, I guess, but with his technical hitch earlier, he seems to have lost touch with Thunder, and he's in a similar sync of pit stops, but Garuda out of sync on the pit stop front. Autosport, 2nd in class, 7th overall. Half tank fuel, everything's looking neat and tidy for him. Is it the Dicky thing? Duffman is in 8th. He had damage earlier on, continued with that damage, and lost a bit to the pack. He's 40 seconds behind Autosport. But even then, I think he's sitting in a podium position overall. So not bad for Duffman. Duffman's return, as we didn't see him last week. Oliver OZ, that Porsche's been a big handful for him. It really has. It really has been a test of patience and agility for Oz, I guess. Ozza. Oliver. Ollie. So, and JTR. He jumped in after qualifying, had an earlier pit stop due to, we suspect damage, so it couldn't have been for tyres and fuel, and he's been slowly plucking away at it, hoping to pick up some stuff, and he has really. He's picked up, well, we lost Bob, so that's a position gained. Incognito into the pits. Those tyres are spent. Thank you, love. We had a great time, but it's time to move on. And so Incognito fueling up and getting fresh tyres. He's done his soft tyres now. He doesn't have to use them again this race. So Chunky Ribena moves ahead. Does he though? Does he though? He does. So Chunky Ribena moves ahead and up and into 2nd place. And Thunder, no, surely not. Wow, that pit lane slow. And Thunder then moves up and into 3rd. 1st in class, 3rd in on track. Fantastic stuff. And putting a lap on one of his closest competitors in that championship, the OZ. Incognito then out of the pits ahead of Adnap, who is now ahead. Who was he not ahead of? Oh, he was chasing Thunder down. So, and now Incognito out onto a set of medium tyres, full tank, full commitment now, ladies and gentlemen. He is going to go on. He's going to go on and try and catch Boosted out in his soft sprint. How will the Ferrari work? Wow, Boosted, he's got new internet and everything. It's having a struggle. It might be my internet, ladies and gents. Do not blame the player. Blame the streamer, because, you know, it is probably, I've got 2 teenagers watching porn upstairs. You don't know. I don't know for sure. I assume they are. I would if I was that age. So, Chunky Ribena in second. Then we've got Thunder in third. This is absolutely cracking, with Incognito now in fourth. But he's all pitted up. He's going for a long run. Deep into this race. Adnap in fifth. He's a quarter of a tank of fuel. Tyres looking good. 10 seconds ahead of Garuda. His fuel is absolutely banging because he's out of sync with the cars around him on strategy. Autosport, he's just, oh, no friend of tyres is the Lexus. And he's struggling with grip out there. I keep trying to look at the side of his car. I feel like it might be a thumbnail. It might be this week's thumbnail. So Duffman then in 8th place. Ollie is in 9th, the Oz man, and he's being lapped. Oh, he's got his hazards on as well. He's not that yet. And JTR out there in a 10th spot, jumping in last minute. Fantastic stuff. Boosted then, quarter of a tank of fuel, 20-second lead on the Chunks. He's got a while to go yet. Who are we going to go on board with? It's going to be Incognito, isn't it? Going to have our little time of reflection. You guys enjoy the sounds of a McLaren. I can't remember who I did it with last week. Chunky, I think. Hoo-ha, I missed Dyson, didn't I? I missed him getting past Thunder. I apologise, everyone. These are the way things are. You know, I have a strict time code, and I have to get my Pilates in when I can get them in. So now he's coming up incognito to a lap. Oh, dearie me. He took no prisoners with that move. Did incognito. He weren't messing. So Boosted then. Let's have a little recap. Booster's ready for a pit stop. His tyres are pretty spent, and his fuel is absolutely down and red flashing. Then we have the Chunks. His tyres, they're not too bad, but his fuel is great. So it looks like he's going to go for a while yet, if he can keep the tyres in. Incognito is absolutely brimming and pushing, and he's not wanting anything to slow him down, and I understand that. He's in a fight with Boosted at the moment, and he can't lose time. Thunder yet to pit. His fuel's good, but his tyres are not. So Thunder in the 26s at the moment, and I don't think he's really racing Chunky, is he? Chunky's touching 25s mostly, with the odd 26 in there for fun. Then we have Adnap, who was recently pitted. He's short-filled because he's put the soft tyres on, and he is absolutely, oh, what a shame. I was saying he's slinging Nissan, but he's been penalised for it. They've given him the peen. Garuda. Oh, Thunder's come in. The tyres were too bad. Fuel, but the short fill. I mean, he's short fill, but he's not going to be in there as long for the fuel, and that moves. Well, Incognito was already up into third, but Adnap might be the danger. No, he's only a minute behind Thunder, and Thunder already back out on track. He has short filled, you know. He's got to be using soft, surely, with a quarter of a tank. He's not done that, or he's got excited with his button. No, there he goes. Soft tyres, quarter of a tank of fuel. No, word, he's not giving that much. And that then, trying to close the gap on the top four, but it's a big job to do. Garuda chasing him down, also on the soft tyres as well. So I think Garuda must have made a pit while we were having a Pilates break. Get Boosted is in. Boosted is in, ladies and gentlemen. Incognito. He did that soft run. He's apologised to Autosport. He's got Duff, man, right up his chuff. He could do without that, I can tell thee. So Boosted then. Chunky takes the lead of the race, and Boosted is moving. He's moving. He's short-filled. He's on the soft tyres. Ferrari have ticked all their boxes correctly, and he is, I wouldn't say way ahead of Incognito, but he's got a good 3 seconds in hand on him. So that's a great for Boosted. Now, this is where Incognito lost the time though on the soft tyre. So can Boosted get around the track okay on that soft tyre in a better condition than Incognito? Chunky Ribena, meanwhile, on fumes, leading the race, 6 seconds. I think he's going to pit before he's an issue for Boosted or Incognito. Thunder with that pit stop, soft tyres, already 31 seconds ahead of Adnap, who's on his soft tyre, and he's on his Russian push at the moment as we speedily approach the 1 hour mark of this 90-minute race.
Love it.
In the chat then, oh, Adam in the chat saying he's got Duff Chuff. Love it. He's got a bit of Duff Chuff at the moment. He's suffering from Duff Chuff. He isn't anymore. So Incognito then on a rush and a push to try and catch up with Boosted, who's on a soft tyre. He's going to absolutely going to be aiming for 23s, isn't he? What we got? 24.3 on the board. Can Boosted touch 23.1? I'm going to go for. He's going to pull a 23.1 out of his butt ski. Chunky, meanwhile, continuing on in the lead, and Incognito pushing on. Thunder, his fight is with Chunky, but he's a little bit behind Chunky now. So 35 seconds though. It's about 30 seconds of pit stop. He's on that soft tyre. He's pushing hard. Adnap 30 seconds behind Thunder and 13 seconds ahead of Garuda, who's got damage, ladies and gentlemen. He lost 10 seconds that last lap around. This is meant to be the hot push, and it's not gone well from him. Duffman, he'll be needing to pit soon. He's 7th at the moment and 2nd in class, I believe. So it's going well for him, but he's going to have to make a pit stop, which will, put Autosport back up and into that 2nd spot. He's on his soft tyre run at the moment, and Oliver again burning through a set of mediums. He's just put his hazards on because I think just everyone's overtaking him. Chunky Ribena into the pits. Boosted retakes the lead. Incognito goes ahead of Chunky, but it's Thunder that Chunky is the one who is the concern for. Thunder is the concern for Chunky at the moment. Chunky replenishing. It's going to be a soft run like Thunder's. I believe he's going to go to the soft tyre. He's half filled at that bad boy. Chunky then coming around that final corner. Chunky Thunder. I said Thunder. I don't know if I'm saying Thunder or Chunky. In my head, I'm hearing both. And Chunky out then. Ahead of Thunder, it seems. It is. Ooh. Nearly into the path of Oliver. But Chunky then reaffirms his 3rd place, but not that far behind Thunder, whose tyres are already warmed up. He's got himself past the push A, but the Lambo's got a wiggle on as he comes through the chicane, and Chunky at the moment just has to get on with getting on. He's on the soft tyre. He's got to push hard because Thunder is in his wake. Adnap then all on his own in 5th place at the moment. Looks like with Garuda's damage, and he's continuing with that damage, and it's costed him nearly 2 seconds a lap. He did a 24.5 on those soft tyres before, so a loss of 2 seconds there. And Duffman yet to pit. He's coming in now, ladies and gentlemen, giving TDR back the 7th place, 2nd in class. And I don't think Oliver's going to catch it. Oh, I tell you what, though, Oliver might get ahead of him as well. But Oliver is having some major tyre issues here at Road Atlanta as the sun goes down. And we head into the evening segment of the race. And he does go ahead of Duffman back up and into 3rd place in class. But Duffman coming out, he's already used his soft tyres up on a set of mediums. Full tank, that might be a run all the way to the end where we see Oliver might have to make another pit stop. So let's not count Duffman out yet. He might still grab a podium here. He might snatch a podium from nowhere. Boosted, meanwhile, 7.5 seconds ahead of Incognito. His tyres are doing okay, you know. His tyres are doing super. 23.4 last time around. And he gets past Garuda, his old teammate from last season. And yeah, Incognito. All he can do is just keep planting those lap times and hope the boosted... I mean, he's not going to the end, you know. I don't believe. So they've both got a pit stop each left. Now, Boosted might have been quite clever with these timing with the soft tyres because the track will be cooler at night, so he shouldn't burn through them. Oh, the fuel went on Thunder's car. Still plenty of beef on the tyres, though. That's a real shame for Thunder. He put about half a tank in as well, didn't he? So, yeah, Thunder burning through the fuel, barely touching the soft tyre. Adnap might have a chance here, ladies and gentlemen. Thunder might have dropped a bit of a ball. He's gone heavy, full tank, medium tyres. Adnap coming around, the final corner. This is a going up into 4th place. I wasn't suspecting Thunder to make a pit stop so soon. He must have made a mistake with that fuel. What did he do? Put a quarter of a tank in? But that was the same as what Booster's done. So Adnap then up ahead. Now Thunder will be trying to run all the way till the end, I believe. Full tank, medium tyres. He's 24 minutes and a half on the clock. That should be able to get that to the end just about. Whereas Adnap does have another pit stop to make. And yeah, interesting. So Adnap's got a lot of work to do to put a gap out on Thunder. Chunky Ribena, meanwhile, he's going to be lengthening that gap on those soft tyres. 24.5. What a great time. Incognito, meanwhile, he's in the phase of the race where he's just got to get his head down and crack on and try and ignore what Booster's doing at the moment. But Booster is absolutely planting the Ferrari on a soft set of tyres into another dimension. So Oliver is into the pits. We said he was going to have to pit again, and Duffman does move up to third in class. So Duffman, absolutely a top job done by him. Look at that, cracking stuff. JTR then is also gone ahead of Oliver. Oh, Oliver's race has been an absolute nightmare. It has been a tyre tragedy. And 3 seconds. Kick a man while he's down, why don't you? Kaz, what's your issue? And he's come out right in front of Thunder there, who's in his own personal battle with Adnap, and he doesn't want to be held up by the Porsche. He's found him at the wrong time, but yeah, the Porsche gets out of the way and releases the Lambo. Garuda into the pits then. He's going to fix that damage, get rid of his soft tyres. This is a run to the end, and Autosport is going to get ahead of Garuda here. But then Autosport is going to need to make a pit stop because his tyres are dead. Let's hold a ceremony and put them in the ground because they are dead. This parrot, sir, is no more. MJ saying hopefully Interlagos will be better next week. What do you mean better? It's been fantastic. What's wrong with you? What do you want? You want 4 cars a wide all the way around. It's fascinating. The long race. Better. It's been fantastic. I've enjoyed myself. And it's not over yet. We've still got 22 minutes. Chunky Ribena, meanwhile. Oh, MJ wants to race. That's why. That's why he thinks Interlagos will be better, is because he'll be there. Thunder then, only 3.5 seconds behind Adnap. Adnap's tyres are not going to see him through to the end of the race, and Thunder matching the time with Adnap. Thunder is absolutely having a season and a half here, leading in class and dominating on track as well. Autosport up and in second, but he is going to have to pit. And Garuda has recently pitted. He did put the soft tyres on. He is hopeful. He's on a wing and a prayer there, ladies and gentlemen. Garuda hoping to get those soft tyres. He must have made a mistake. Clicked the wrong tyres, surely. Well, Garuda, he's going to struggle to get those softs all the way to the end, but you never know. Boosted. Yeah, he's halfway through his already, and he's picked up a penalty. Incognito will be loving this. This is the music to one's ears he was hoping for. Boosted's tyres are starting to be in pain, and he's picking up penalties, meaning he's lacking grippage and sliding in corners. And Road Atlanta is rather punishing with the penalties, so he can't do too much of that. He's going to have to refine his driving. He's going to have to slow down a little because his tyres can't keep up with it. He continues around. He's only halfway through those tyres, though. We've still got some way to go before he needs to make a pit stop. But 26.1, that one. And Incognito, well, he's nearly in the 26s himself with an old set of medium tyres. So it's hard to build gain on him there.
We're awaiting his doping sample.
And in the chat then, MJ says, I want Wi-Fi. He says he may still be off his face on anaesthetics. Yeah. And we're awaiting his doping. Yeah, because he had a tooth out, didn't he? It's like a weight gain. He's like Carlos Sainz. He's our very own Sainzy. As he's, he's flying now. He's playing Wipeout. He's like playing Wipeout 2097 or something. It's all floating. And Incognito, he could do with some of those drugs.
Too much armorifica consumed your Wi-Fi NJ.
So,
less talking, more driving.
yeah, I always tell him that as well, MJ. Thunder's in the chat. Thunder, 5th place, only 2 seconds behind Adnap and Kachin. Adnap having to pit. He's decided that's the time to get into the YouTube chat and say, too much armor reforger consumed your Wi-Fi, MJ. So MJ has replied with less talking, more driving. That's exactly what I say to him week in, week out. He keeps coming and chatting, but I don't know how he does it. Oh, he's pushing hard. Adnap, beware. Oh, and Adnap's picked up a penalty. His tyres are virtually spent. And Thunder is playing with the big boys. He is absolutely slicing through our fields. He is like our very own Yuki. And there, so Adnap moving over to one side to pay his penalty. And that one for Thunder, it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be, but Thunder does get by. And Adnap then still got a lap or two on those soft tyres, but they are going away rather swiftly. Thunder 40 seconds behind the Chunks. The Chunks are still on his soft push. He's got an easy pit stop in hand, has a Chunky. And I think Thunder's running to the end. I'm not sure. We know Incognito's getting close to his pit stop. Boosted also. The fuel is a-flashing. He has timed that perfectly, hasn't he? His tyres and his fuel both coming to an end around the same time. So bob on for Boosted with Incognito. He's going to be pitting a similar time, which kind of tells you there's going to be a similar gap between the two of them. He was hoping, I think Incognito was hoping that Boosted's soft run didn't go as well as it has done. Chunky Ribena, meanwhile, still on his soft tyres. Adnap's pitted, got rid of the... Oh, he's going softs as well. So maybe Garuda's move wasn't too bold. They're doing okay at the moment, aren't they? 17 minutes left on the clock. And yeah, there is... I think with the cooler track at night, the soft tyres are not getting hurt. And what does this mean for Thunder then? Adnap and Garuda, well, Garuda's a bit way behind Adnap as well, but Adnap, can he make 35 seconds up in the last 16 minutes on a soft set of tyres? I mean, they're not wearing as much because they're not getting as hot, so they're not as effective. But we will see. Boosted, meanwhile, on the verge of a pit stop from the lead, and this is the pit stop as he fights the Ferrari to stay within the yellow lines to avoid getting a penalty, and in he comes to replenish and get some wet tyres. Incognito, he also is pitting as well, but we know the McLaren pit crew are slick. And Chunky Ribena, he will take the lead. He will take the lead temporarily, maybe. No, not from Boosted. But he's 25 seconds behind Incognito. So I think he'd go ahead of Incognito, but Boosted, he's gone soft tyres, half a tank of fuel, he feels. Well, yeah, there's only 15 minutes left of the race. Why not? And Chunky Ribena, who doesn't have half a tank of fuel, wishes he did. Incognito, soft tyres, 3/4 of a tank of fuel. Now then, who's edging their bets here? Thunder out there. He might have made a mistake putting those medium tyres on, my friend. Everyone else has put soft tyres on to end this race with. Adnap, 36 seconds adrift of Thunder, and he's got someone for company. It looks like a Porsche. No, it's not a Porsche. Who's with? Is it Boosted? I have no idea who's got Adnap, who's up Adnap's chuff. It's Duff Man, isn't it? Oh, it's JTR. Sorry, JTR. It's pretty dark. It's hard to see the cars. So, and then he's on a big rush and push to try and close in on Thunder, who's picked up a penalty. Last thing he needs right now, on a set of medium tyres, on a cold bit of road, his grip will be absolutely shocking. And Adnap on a set of soft tyres, pushing hard for that 4th place. Meanwhile, Boosted, only 7 seconds ahead of Chunk. Oh, Chunk's gone in. Chunk has pitted. So Chunky Ribena comes in. I imagine Incognito easily passed. And Thunder is, he's not going to get past him either, is he? So Chunky looks like he sealed the deal on the podium, ladies and gents. Chunky is having a podium-tastic season. He got a podium last season. I know he was fighting with Bob all the way. But he might have missed out. He might have just been 4th or something. No. Sure he wasn't. Sure he was finished 3rd last week. So Thunder then coming around, but I imagine Chunky already moving. He's opted for soft tyres and half a tank as well, going the way of Boosted. Comes out in 3rd, easily ahead of poor old Thunder, who didn't get the memo with the soft tyres. He didn't think of that. He thought mediums. The softs are shocking, but that was just during the day. In the evening, the soft tyre is coming to its own, it seems. Boosted leads with 13 seconds on Incognito. And Incognito picking up a half a second penalty. Well, he spent a half second penalty on this lap. Chunky Ribena, 25 seconds behind Incognito, and needs something big to happen to move up another position. Thunder, 8 seconds behind Chunky, but he's on the medium tyre. He'll be hoping that they're all wrong about these softs and they'll just bullet themselves. But with 13 minutes today, shall we say, left of racing here, it looks like the soft tyre is a safe bet. Thunder in 4th, ahead of Adnap, who hasn't closed any more of that gap to Thunder. So I don't think there's really much difference between the soft and the medium. 26-1 for Thunder last time around. He likes sleeking that Lambo around the corners. And Adnap 25-6, so half a second faster, but with the 35-second deficit, I can't see that he's going to, well, he definitely isn't going to close the gap. On Thunder, he's going to have to hope Thunder slings it at the scenery or something. Garuda in 6th place. And I think his race ruined early doors with a pit stop, unscheduled pit stop in the first, 7 laps or something. It was definitely must have picked up a bit of damage there along the way. And 6th place is the best he can hope for here at Road Atlanta, with Autosport in 7th, but I believe 2nd in class. But Duffman's got something to say about that, or he might not. Autosport was 4.4 seconds, 26.5 last time around, 27.1 from Duffman. So yeah, it looks like Autosport might be quite comfortable. Chunky wants past. He's flashed him a couple of times, but Autosport says, no, you're going to have to be closer than that for me to pull over. And now Chunky has come up all in his business and flashing him again. He will not tolerate this. He's got race to get on with, and Autosport is in his way. And now Autosport does pull over in a safe place. No, he doesn't. He didn't lift, at least, anyway. He has now. And Autosport then 2nd in class, 16 seconds behind Garuda. I imagine he feels that the race is still on for him. Garuda on those soft tyres, they're going. They are burning away. So Boosted leads on the soft tyres, 14, nearly 15-second lead on Incognito. He's just put a lap on Adnap, and he's probably going to help Adnap along a little bit here if Adnap gets into his toe. So Adnap getting a little boost there from Boosted. As Incognito does his fastest lap of the race, a 23.7, but it's all a little too late now. Boosted at 23.7 also. And yeah, it seemed like the soft stint for Incognito was the pained one. Couldn't get the pace out on those soft tyres that he needed to get. And Boosted pulled all of his time out on them soft tyres, it seems. Chunky Ribena Meanwhile, 9 seconds ahead of Thunder. In the chat, Sinister. Oh, wait. Sorry, Reckless says, let him text and drive just this once. Thunder said, I do it every time, not in real life, OFC. And Thunder also saying, only on straights. Sinister saying, Chunky needs to chill. There's only a couple of places where you can let faster cars by here. Yeah, I know, but he's got the sim racing fever. He's incognito 27 seconds, and there's 9 minutes left. He still feels he can make that 27 seconds back. Surely. Thunder is 26.0 last time. Chunky's was 25.8. He might be trying to go for fastest lap as well, although 25.8 isn't going to get him fastest lap. Thunder is ahead of Adnap. Adnap starting to lose the toe of Boosted a lot. Where's Boosted gone? He's gone.
Not even possible unless in Cogrex.
And since saying not even possible unless Incog Rex. Yeah, no, I know. That's what I mean. He also might be trying to go for fastest lap, but 23.4 is a big ask. Thunder at the moment, he's the man on a mission. He's got to stay ahead of Adnap, which should easily be done with 34 seconds. But he'd love to close in on Chunky. He'd love Chunky to destroy his tyres. But that doesn't look like it's going to happen as well. Garuda's had to make a pit stop, ladies and gents. Garuda's come in for another set of soft tyres. Very late in the day, 7th place. So it's cost him 1 position to Autosport. Autosport on the medium tyres. 6th then. 2nd in class, 6th on the track for Autosport. This is fantastic driving, ladies and gentlemen. Garuda is in 7th, 4.8 seconds behind Autosport, only 1.8 seconds ahead of Duffman. There's racing to be had here, ladies and gentlemen. And Duffman getting lapped by Thunder. And if he's smart, he can stick up the rear of the green Lambo. And if Garuda pulls over to let the Lambo through, he might be able to sneak one in there. It's worth a try. Garuda on those fresh, soft tyres, though. Duffman on a very old set of mediums. It's not really a race, is it? But he's 25 seconds ahead of OZ. And it's been an absolute nightmare in the Porsche Cayman. It has not been friendly to its tyres in no way whatsoever for poor Ollie then. And JTR late into the lobby, missed out on qualifying, and I think he had an issue early on in the race that kind of stuffed the whole of his race up, but he's just cracked on, got his head down, used it as a testing session. It's all you can do. Boosted 15.2 seconds, 6 minutes on the clock, and we've got to say it's going to be 1-1 for Incognito and Boosted. Incognito winning the first race and Boosted winning the second race. This championship is going to be absolutely hotly contested all the way through. Fantastic stuff from these two at the front. Chunky Ribena looks like third spot is all sewed up. And Sinister saying Oliver might have the wrong brake balance setting. Cayman is usually bad on tyres. Oh, not bad, sorry. So yeah, I don't know. He's been lighting them up. They've not been lasting for him. So Chunky maintaining. Tyres looking good. Only 5 minutes left of racing. So what? 3 laps, 4 laps at best. Not much he can do there. Adnap 5th. I think he'd take that after qualifying. Autosport in 6th. He'll be giddy. He's moving up the order. His Autosport. He's going the way of Thunder. And the Lexus, solid drive around here. But Garuda is on those soft tyres, and he's got the bit between his teeth, ladies and gents. Autosport can't count on that spot just yet. And at the same time, Garuda getting blue flags. And I said if Duffman gets right up his chuff, he might be able to follow him through. If Autosport. Oh, I don't know. Who's? Oh yeah, no, Duffman's right up Thunder's. But I don't think they've dropped back. The blue flags have dropped off now. So Garuda in the Honda NSX, making a pit stop at the end there and losing a position to Autosport, but then tears one through, gets the move done and claims his 6th place back. And it's it's Thunder. The blue flags are Thor. And 3.5 minutes left of this race, and Thunder catches up with Autosport, who lets him through. He's got 5 seconds on Duffman, but Duffman's on an old set of medium tyres, and it will be very difficult for Duffman to mount an attack at this point against Autosport. OZ on those medium tyres, he has had a struggle this race. You've got to feel for the lad. He's had to put a shift in this race for ninth, ladies and gents. All of that work. He's probably been the hardest worker out there on the track, fighting with the Porsche. Just to claim 9th place, and JTR also. Ooh, JTR. He thinks he's going to finish the race with no tyres whatsoever. And I think he's going to find that a real struggle. 1:34.9 shows you how much pace you lose. May as well just go in and have fun with the last couple of laps. Boosted. 16 seconds now on Incognito, and Incognito is tearing through his tyres. 30 seconds ahead of Chunky Ribena, but with only 2 minutes left, the best case scenario is that those tyres explode and he spins off to the scenery for Chunky to get another position out of this race. Thunder, meanwhile, hunting a Chunky, but Chunky's tyres seem to be holding on, and with less than 2 minutes to go, that equals, wherever they are on track, 2 laps. Adnap 36 seconds behind Thunder, 47 seconds ahead of Garuda. Garuda reclaiming that spot back after a late pit stop, and so he neither lost nor gained from that pit stop. I suppose it's more fun to drive on stickier tyres. Autosport, 2nd in class, 7th on track. Looked like things would get a little worrying for him. Duffman mounted an attack right near the end there, but I think Duffman's tyres spent, and now he is just driving in 8th place. He's 4th in class though, ladies and gentlemen. Not bad. Outscoring Reckless, Oliver and JTR. Is Reckless in the GT2s? I can't remember. 37.8, that car absolutely no faster than a forklift. And boosted then, 40 seconds on the clock. He's going to get another lap, isn't he? Cheeky monkey. He's going to go for a parade lap, as the timer probably will run out by the time. No, Incognito might get round again. But boosted then, starting his final lap, ladies and gentlemen, in the lead, 16.3 seconds, and there's still 10 seconds on the clock, but Incognito with 31 seconds, will he ease up? No, he's going for it. Crosses the line. So yeah, I think Chunky is going to be our first finisher. I don't know who's just ahead of him. They're going to be the first finisher. Is it TDR? It is TDR. There you go. TDR, JTR, sorry. Bloody initials, TDR's in 7th. Don't listen to me. So, JTR on those shocking tyres. Comes around, and it looks like Chunky's going to reach him before he gets to the line. And finishes the race with Chunky finishing in 3rd. I think there's a couple of others between them. Garuda in 6th, well done. Thunder finishing in 4th. Adnap's not quite there yet. Oh, someone just went across. Autosport in 7th. Duffman in 8th place. Adnap is still quite a way away. Who else have I got to cover? Not Oliver. Not those two. Oh, Boosted. So Boosted then coming around those final corners to take the win. Fantastic stuff from Boosted. And Incognito is behind Adnap, I guess. Adnap then, solid 5th place there. Fantastic stuff. And Incognito then rounds it out for 2nd place. This championship is absolutely lit. So Boosted wins, Incognito in 2nd, Chunky finishing in 3rd, Thunder 4th, but 1st in class with Adnap in 5th, Garuda finishing in 6th. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was an absolute banger of a race around Road Atlanta in the Group 4 cars. I enjoyed that very much so. Let's have a quick look. Ooh, hang on. At those positions then. Boosted wins against Incognito with Chunky Ribena thereabouts. Look, Chunky, Boosted and Incognito, the only guys in the 23s, which goes to show you their pace. Thunder in 4th. Like I said, 1st in class, though. He wins in the GT2 category and comes home in 4th place. Overall, Adnap 5th, last year's champion, fighting the Sylvia around here, and he lost a chunk of time. He could have been ahead of Thunder, I reckon. He lost a big chunk of time in the middle of that race due to one reason or another. 6th place, Garuda, who seemed to just have a pit stop after pit stop. He had the pace on the guys ahead of him as well. Look, 24-1 he had in that car. Autosport in 7th place and 2nd in class. So yet again, another podium for Autosport. Well done, my friend. And is that Duffman in 3rd? A podium for Duffman then. Great stuff. Poor old Ozzy with his Porsche having an absolute nightmare, and JTR in the Lexus just trying to find his feet last minute after qualifying. And Bob had a disconnect, unfortunately, and he was looking very feisty early doors. So that was round 2. And next Friday, live again as always, and it sounds like it's going to be a Brazil. Bring your samba, bring your dips and chips, my friends. We are going to have ourselves a Brazilian party. I'll get a Brazilian whilst during the stream.
Congrats to the podium
and Adam in the chat saying, as ever, your commentary was better than much of the racing on track. Congrats to the podium and class winners. Well, thank you very much. Thank you to everyone who has partaken and watched and everything. Thanks, Thingy, once again, says Adam. And yes, so next Friday, Interlagos, we're going to have a party. It's going to kick off. And MJ will be back. His internet will be working. And we'll see him how he's going to get that VW around those hairpins. So thank you once again. All the best. Tiru. Peace and love.
Brazilian PLZ rolling on the floor laughing.
And Adam saying no Brazilian, please. Well, we'll see. It's an idea I'm kicking around. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Cigars next week.
Phaser saying, who's going to roll cigars next week? I've got a couple of kids. We can really get it authentic. We'll get some child labour involved. I'm trying to leave, guys. Peace. Peace and love. Peace and love. I'm going. Bye.